Hello and welcome to the news update on Papyrus Global TV. I am Christiana Barbayo. Dangote withdraws petition against ex-NMDPRA boss. Icpc says probe will continue. Ex-Army Chief Faruk Yahaya takes legal action over terrorism financing allegations. Civil Society Coalition says Matawalle redeployment would boost public confidence in fight against terrorism. CITN clarifies confusion on new tax regime. Labour Party's Datti Ahmed declares 2027 presidential ambition. ADC dismisses governor's defections to APC, says Nigerians will decide 2027. Police foil kidnap attempt, rescue 76 children in Kaduna. And now the news in full. Billionaire businessman Aliko Dangote has formally withdrawn the petition he submitted to the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offence Commission (Icpc) against engineer Farouk Ahmed, the immediate past Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA). Dangote's legal representative served a notice of withdrawal dated January 5, 2026, rescinding the petition filed in December 2025, alleging corruption and financial impropriety by Ahmed during his tenure. The petition, originally lodged by Dangote through his counsel, O.J. Onoja, SAN and Associates, had sought Icpc action over claims that Farouk lived beyond his lawful means, including allegations of unjustified expenditure on overseas education for his children. However, Dangote's withdrawal was communicated in full, with his team indicating that another law enforcement agency has since taken over aspects of the matter. Despite the withdrawal, the Icpc has made it clear it will continue its investigation into the case. The anti-graft agency said it had already commenced inquiries before receiving the withdrawal notice, and under its statutory mandate, will proceed with the probe in the interest of the Nigerian state and public transparency. Icpc spokesperson J. Oko Ode reiterated that ongoing investigation steps will not be halted due to the petitioner's decision to step back. The development underscores the Commission's commitment to pursuing allegations of corruption regardless of the status of original complainant, emphasizing that its actions are guided by legal obligations under the Icpc Act and broader principles of accountability. Retired Lieutenant General Faruk Yahaya, former Chief of Army Staff, has initiated legal action to defend his reputation after allegations were made linking him to individuals purportedly involved in terrorism financing. The development follows claims made by a retired Major General during a broadcast interview that were subsequently amplified online by media outlets. In a statement issued in Abuja, Brigadier General Sani Usman, retired, a former Army spokesperson, confirmed that Yahaya's legal team, led by Senior Advocate of Nigeria Mohammed Ndayako, served formal demand notices on the retired army officer and the media organizations alleged to have disseminated the assertions. The notice dated December 17, 2025 instructed recipients to retract the allegations, issue unreserved apologies, and halt further dissemination within 72 hours, warning that failure to comply would lead to legal proceedings. The notice argues that the claims are false and malicious, capable of undermining public trust in national institutions and those who have served the country with distinction. Yahaya's legal action is being positioned not only to protect his personal honor, but also to uphold the rule of law, professionalism, and accountability, and to deter the spread of unverified allegations that could erode confidence in Nigeria's security architecture. A coalition of civil society groups has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to consider redeploying the Minister of State for Defense, Honorable Bello Matawalle, from the Defense Ministry, saying such a step would strengthen public confidence in Nigeria's ongoing war against terrorism. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, the Coalition of Nigeria Civil Societies Against Terrorism stressed that its recommendation is rooted in national security interests rather than personal criticisms of Matawalle. The coalition echoed findings from an assessment report on the counter-terrorism campaign, stressing that suspicions or anxieties among Nigerians about internal vulnerabilities could weaken trust in the government's security strategy if left unaddressed. The group argued that insulating the Defense Ministry from perceptions of political influence and ensuring that sensitive security responsibilities are entrusted to officials whose credibility is beyond question would reassure the public and bolster overall confidence in the federal government's counter-terrorism efforts. The coalition reaffirmed its support for Tinubu's broader security policies and stressed that nationalism and unity are essential components in the fight against terrorism, urging strategic decisions that both protect gains already made and strengthen collaborative national resolve. The Chartered Institute of Taxation and of Nigeria (CITN) has clarified widespread public confusion surrounding the nation's recent tax reforms, stating clearly that bank accounts balances will not be subject to income tax and that the only new charge on electronic funds movement is a flat 15 naira stamp duty on qualifying transfers. The institute's Abuja district chairman Ben Enamudu explained that the reforms do not include any provision for taxing money held in personal or business accounts. Enamudu emphasized that the 15 naira stamp duty applies only to electronic transfers of 10,000 naira and above and is payable only by the sender of the funds. Transfers below 10,000, salary payments and transfers within the same bank account, even across multiple accounts held by the same customer, are exempt from the duty. Under the new rules, the duty is triggered when money moves between separate financial institutions, even if both accounts belong to the same individual. The revision marks a shift from the previous arrangement where the charge could be shared between sender and recipient.
We will now go on a short break, and when we come back, the news will continue. Stay tuned.
The Packers Global, we don't just cover events, we create cinematic experiences. From red carpets to birthdays, gala dinners, and your fairy tale weddings, we bring your moments to life with high-tech precision. Our gadgets are smarter, our lenses sharper, and our team simply world-class. Trust the Packers Global to tell your story in the boldest, brightest way possible.
Welcome back, and now the news will continue.
Senator Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, former vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 election, has publicly declared his intention to contest the 2027 Nigerian presidency, adding new memorandum to the opposition landscape as party's position ahead of the next general elections. Baba Ahmed made the announcement at a rally held at the LP's National Secretariat in Abuja, emphasizing his willingness to contest independent of recent high-profile party realignments. Baba Ahmed's declaration comes shortly after the departure of former LP presidential candidate Peter Obi to the African Democratic Congress, sparking speculation about the Labour Party's trajectory. The former lawmaker and businessman stressed that his presidential ambition predates the 2023 election and is not driven by Obi's political decisions, signaling a continuity in his long-standing political aspirations. He recounts earlier efforts to secure the presidential nomination years before Obi's candidacy, noting his previous participation in the People's Democratic Party primaries before aligning with Obi under the LP banner. Baba Ahmed also addressed concerns around religion and ethnicity, reaffirming that Nigeria's constitution guarantees every qualified citizen the right to seek elective office. The African Democratic Congress (ADC) has downplayed the political impact of recent waves of defection by sitting governors and other politicians to the All Progressives Congress, insisting that such moves will not determine the outcome of the 2027 general election. The party's National Press Publicity Secretary, Balaji Abdullahi, emphasized that the will of Nigerians, not the strategic migration of elites, will decide the next presidential contest. Abdullahi argued that politicians who change party affiliation in pursuit of perceived advantages do so for personal or opportunistic reasons, but that such switches do not necessarily reflect mass public sentiment or translate into electoral support on the ground. He maintained that governors may decamp, but the people do not automatically follow them, and that economic hardship, insecurity, and other lived realities will shape voter behavior more decisively than high-profile defections. The ADC's position comes as defections from opposition parties in the ruling APC have become a recurring theme in national politics ahead of 2027, prompting debate about party loyalty, democratic competition, and the strength of opposition platforms. The party said it remains focused on building grassroots support and contesting elections on policy issues rather than elite movement between parties. The Nigeria Police Force has disrupted a suspected child trafficking and kidnapping plot in Kasuwan Magani, Kaduna State, rescuing 76 children and arresting 3 alleged suspects after acting on credible intelligence on January 5, 2026. According to a statement from the Force Public Relations Officer, CSP Benjamin Hudeyin, the Kaduna State Police Command received information that a bandit group was planning to ambush motorists transporting children through the area with the aim of abducting them. A rapid response by police operatives under the divisional police officer at Kaswa Magani successfully repelled the attack, ensuring the children, ranging in age from approximately 7 to 20, were rescued unharmed. 3 male suspects identified as Jonathan John, 25, Oliver Magaji, 27, and Beatrice Sawaba, 23, were apprehended during the operation. Early investigation indicates that the suspects were moving the children to other parts of the country for child labor and other domestic work, according to preliminary police findings. The rescued children are being held safely at the Kaduna State Police Command Police Headquarters, pending proper identification and reunification with their families or guardians. And that's all we have on the news update on Papyrus Global TV. I am Christiana Babayo. Thanks for joining us.